One, boom. All right. Hello,
Rich,
Frank.
hey, how are you, man?
Doing well. Long time no see.
Good to see you.
Good to
It's
see you
been too
too.
long since we've seen you, but I'm calling to say happy anniversary.
Much appreciated. Thank you so much. It's hard to believe we're turning 6 already.
It's insane. It's insane. How's it feel? Do you feel big and grown up now?
Feel old and gray. We're getting there.
Old, old and gray. Yeah,
Yeah,
God.
it's been a fun journey.
Yeah, it's nuts to think of everything that's happened in those last 6 years. Really.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's been a lot. Why don't you give us an update on how things have been?
yeah, I'm just thinking back to when you guys all came out and climbed hills with us dressed as Samburu warriors, and we were neck deep in the poaching crisis that was raging across East Africa at that time, and it's amazing to think how far we've come since then, really, because really the poaching has really dwindled. We've really got it under control across most of East and Southern Africa now. The price, unfortunately, still remains high enough to incentivize criminal networks to smuggle ivory, and the rule of law is weakest in those countries in Central Africa where the forest elephants are, and that's where we still have a really terrible ivory crisis still ongoing. But at least in Samburu, where you guys came in northern Kenya, we've had enormous success, and poaching is down by about 96%. I think we have very,
Awesome.
very few cases of poaching now, and thank you so much for your support and helping us make that happen, because it's really such a transformation.
Yeah, no problem at all. We know it's going to be a long road to find a real resolution, but we're just happy to be here for the ride and help out as much as we can.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Rich. It's a long road, because what we're talking about here is generational change. We've got this is not just a market, it's a tradition, it's a culture of buying and owning ivory that still exists in backwaters in China and other areas of Southeast Asia, and some other parts of the world. There's still a desire to own ivory, and as long as that exists, we're going to have a problem that will flare up from time to time. I guess the other thing that your assistance has been so powerful with is engaging communities. Now, not just your communities and the people that know and love Ivory Ella's products, but also the communities that live with elephants here in Africa. And these are the people that are really critical for the long-term future of Africa's elephants, because Africa's getting more and more crowded, it's getting more and more developed. If we can't find place in people's hearts for elephants, then they really have no future. But thanks to the kind of support you guys have been giving us for everything from school infrastructure programs to boosted scholarship programs, all of the Mama Tembos, all of these kind of community-oriented programs, they're so important for catalyzing love for elephants and removing the downside of living with elephants, because they're big and scary and dangerous. Elephants. And it's okay for us to sit back in our armchairs here and go, elephants are great, we should have them around. If you're living with them and you don't have a vehicle to watch them in, but you're bumping into them at night on foot, it's a different matter. So we really have to find out those solutions. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys have really taught us the importance of human and elephant coexistence, and that's why we believe that if we could just tell the story to as many people as we can, and really try to get rid of that desire for it to be a product or a market, that's where we can really do the most good. And that's why we continue to tell the story to this day as much as we can. So Frank, while I have you, can you clarify the recent news updates on elephants now being recognized as 2 different species, and what that means for conservation and the network as a whole?
Yeah, it's a good question, Rich. I mean, this is no surprise for anyone in elephant world. It's been very obvious to people for a long time that we have 2 very different types of elephant. We have the forest elephants, which are much smaller, they're darker, they've got straighter, downward-facing tusks and smaller ears. They live in the forest where it's cooler. They don't need to cool down so much. They've got much quicker reaction times, much slower generation times, and generally much more vulnerable to high levels of poaching, not only because they live in countries with poor rule of law, but or they tend to, but also because their ivory traditionally has been more valued by it's kind of got a pinkish hue it's been more valued in some parts of Asia, but that longer generation time also means they're more vulnerable. So there's lots of things that have made them more vulnerable, and now this recognition, the sort of official recognition that these are two separate species, has put a spotlight on just how endangered these forest elephants are. There's less than 100,000 left in the wild, and they are they're no longer playing the really critical role that forest elephants are supposed to play in the forest, and that's changing the nature and the biology of one of the great lungs of the planet. So this is a really big issue, that forest elephants are critically endangered, but actually the split list, they were already critically endangered. The new announcement, the new decision by this big conservation bureaucracy called the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, their decision basically shines a light on it. Says, yes, the world's got to pay more attention to the plight of the forest elephant. So basically, it's good news that there's now recognition of their plight.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's all we can ask for is recognition and more eyes and ears on the stories, so we can really get the message out there. I mean, I know you've explained and taught us how important elephants can be for the ecosystem as a keystone species. In the Samburu, we've seen that firsthand. I can't even imagine removing them from the forest, what that would cause to the ecosystems there. It's pretty scary to think about, but hopefully the new recognition really allows some new help to come to them, and hopefully we can do some good there. So Frank, as you know, we're turning 6, so we really want to celebrate our relationship together again. It is the most important part of our company. It's why we were founded. It's how we've been able to build such a big community. It is our give back component and how much we've been able to do with you guys. And as we get older, we hope that only increases and does better. So as part of our anniversary gift to all of the elephants, this year, we're planning to do an extra donation from Friday to Sunday, where every order on our website will have an additional $6 donation attached, regardless of what you buy. Feel free to get a sticker pack and we'll still be sending that donation. And of course, there will always be a link on our site directly to Save the Elephants. So we just want to say thank you and make sure that everybody hears your story and has an easy and accessible way to help you and tell others about what you're doing and everything that's going on the ground. So we really wanted to say thank you.
Thank you again, Ivory Ella. It's amazing what you guys do. Yeah, I haven't got the hang of that one yet, but there we go.
Love it.
We love you guys. You're awesome. You've always been awesome, whether it's on the stage of conservation expos in San Francisco or climbing up hills in Samburu. You've been amazing supporters for elephants, and really we just we so need companies like Ivory Ella to be out there, not just spreading awareness, but building a community that gives back and creates a link between the savannas and forests of Africa and the good people of the United States and the rest of the developed world, because we are one planet. We need to work on this stuff together, and what happens here affects over there. So thank you.
Absolutely, and we hope to continue to be with you and continue to tell the story. Obviously, we're like family now. It's been a pretty long road to get here, and I'm very excited to see what happens next and all the good we continue to do. So Frank, before we wrap up here, is there anything you want to say to the Ivory Ella community, and any key call outs or things that they should be thinking about as we move forward into 2021 in a post-pandemic world?
Well, I guess the big thing for me over this pandemic has been seeing the effect, not just on me and my family and of sort of slowing down and spending time together, but I think everyone has been forced to pause and reconsider our relationship with nature. Here we are, mighty humans, humbled by a tiny microbe, that's brought our civilization to a standstill. You know, the biggest crisis since the Second World War, and it's not bullets but biology. And it's really important that we take heed of this warning and think about the interconnectedness of life and the importance of our cousins, these fellow creatures that we've been evolving with ever since the dawn of life 4 billion years or so ago on this planet. And everything from a slug to a butterfly to a tree, these are our cousins. And it's not just elephants, it's everything.
Absolutely.
We need to be together. We exist together. We depend on each other, and we need to model that approach to life in everything from our consumption to our behavior to our beliefs. We need to act as an interwoven society with the rest of life on this planet. And elephants are just one of the biggest, most visible parts of that. They're overwhelming in their intelligence and sentience, and the kind of glimpses of the majesty of nature when you spend time with them. But it's not just elephants, it's everything. So, and the wonder of investing in elephants, of course, is that by protecting elephants, you do tend to protect the whole of the ecosystem, because elephants live such big lives. So by protecting elephants, you do help entire ecosystems and connectivity, and that connectivity provides biodiversity, which provides resilience against climate change. So through supporting Ivory Ella, I guess, good people of Ivory Ella, you're really helping the planet. You're giving back, and you're being the change that we need. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Frank. And your story is always amazing and always inspiring. And we're going to be sure to share it with as many people as we can. I think the biggest call out for me is empathy is the most important thing for all of us, right? Like you said, every creature, every person, we're all here together, and we're all sharing this space. And hopefully after this very tough time we've all been through, we can all learn a little bit to be kind to one another and think about our planet and think about how we're going to make better change as we grow older. So thank you so much, Frank. It's great to talk to you as always. This is perfectly in line with our mission to teach people that any one person can make a difference. You don't have to have a big organization behind you. You just need to have a belief that you can do good and make change. And we're really glad you've taught us that. And hopefully we can continue to inspire others to take on the same mission. So all that said, Frank, I know you got a plane to catch. You're going to head back out there and do some work at the Save the Elephants Research Camp. So I was so happy to have you here. And again, just thank you for hanging out with us today.
Well, thank you, Rich, for all of your leadership over the last 6 years with Ivory Ella. Your whole team there, they're fantastic, and the whole Ivory Ella crew. And that means every single one of you that wears an Ivory Ella t-shirt or has got an Ivory Ella sticker on their car or their plane, like us. And it's really been an honor the last 6 years, and we look forward to the next 6. And let's catch up before the 12th anniversary.
Absolutely, can't wait for it.
Good stuff, Rich. Go well.
Have a great day.
Thanks,
Take
everyone.
care.
Bye.
See you later.